Now, welcome everybody to the Love Redemption Podcast with MJ and Snow.
Hey y'all.
Hey, alright, we're gonna cut that out right now. Fade that out, yeah. Alright, hey, welcome to the Reality Redemption Podcast. I'm MJ, and we've got Snow fresh off her acting debut last night.
Woohoo!
At
I'm officially an actress, guys.
At the Ghost Walk. How did that go?
Oh, it was good. It was fun.
All right.
Yeah.
And how many shows did you have to do?
We had to do it 4 times because there's 4 different show times. And then so 4 more tonight. They'll have us do like an encore one if there's more people who want to buy tickets for like after the 4 normal show times, which are like 7, 7:30, 8, and 8:30. But if they need to do another one at 9, then we do another one.
Did you beat yourself up too bad throwing yourself on the ground?
I'm gonna have to take a Epsom salt soap tonight after the show.
So unfortunately this week, the mask proclamation went in front of the city council again, and despite our efforts where we had 74 pro keeping the mask mandate in place against 4 votes or emails against,
4.
one of the city council members flipped and the mask mandate got rescinded, even though the numbers are going back up again.
Because somebody's really worried about their political career.
Yeah. So that was kind of discouraging, but the only thing I was encouraged by was the amount of support we got and how we did this in this town, and 74-4, and we were 160 something to 120 something the last time.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes you just can't fix stupid. I mean sometimes stupid wins, you know?
Yeah. But the encouraging part is going around town and looking around. It still seems like the same amount of people are being responsible with it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would think so. I mean, if the whole town is a lot like what the emails are like, then yeah, that's a good sign. You know, so we're having people who are still interested in wearing them and being safe and keeping others safe.
Hey, but the bright spot is it's all going away after Election Day, so we only have 10 more days to put up with this.
Oh, right.
I mean, that's a positive.
Magically.
It's all going to magically go away.
Like we'll get some magic beans and it'll just poof.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, COVID.
Yeah. In the words of Biden, will you shut up, man? The night of the last debate, I was driving down to Laughlin because I had a couple nights I have free rooms down there, and I drove by that pizza place on the right hand side as you head to Laughlin.
MAGA pizza.
Yeah, and you should have seen the amount of trucks with their big American flags and the big Trump flags. Like the parking lot full of trucks with flags.
They were probably having a Trump rally.
Yeah,
or something. I've seen them. They'll all corral up every once in a while around here, and they'll go driving their big ass trucks through town.
I don't get what the it makes you more patriotic if you have that big flag in the back of your truck and the.
Excuse me, but how does that flag make you patriotic? That is not the American flag.
The Trump flag.
Yeah.
Well, kind of on both sides. Like, I don't need a big flag to know that I love this country and.
Yeah, I don't even need a big ass American flag to do that.
Yeah.
I have nothing against the flag either. You want to fly it, okay, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's like you're overcompensating for something. You know, if you have to
big huge flags on a big huge truck equals small.
My micro penis.
Yeah. Like what's the saying? Like, nice truck, sorry about your dick.
Yeah. You know, as a business person, though, I don't know if I would put that much stock into one person, at my business, because if he does lose the election, what are they going to do?
Well, and my thing is like, so I've seen how people talk about how it's got really great pizza,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem like, they want folks like us in there. So I'm like, well, what is their main motive though, as business folks? Is it like to a place for the cult followers to come and worship and everything, or is it about you selling great pizza? Because I mean, it's like, what is your real agenda there? If you want to sell your great pizza, why don't you just do it without the other stuff, so you're not including people? Unless that's your point. Is it your point to be like, look, we don't want your type in here? I don't get it. If I had a business, I wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be a place for them to go hang out if they do indeed lose and complain. I think the majority of people go there
Go cry together.
not necessarily for the food, but the atmosphere and to be together. And
That's what it makes it seem like to me. Like it's like a themed restaurant. Like that going in, right?
right,
Like that's why people go to like that Dick's Halfway In or whatever, because they want to go to be insulted. It's partly of that. Like they don't have that great of food at Dick's.
Well,
I've been there before.
but the food from out here is really good, and I would love to try it. But it just, just my opinion. I just don't want to put my money into that.
If you're listening, are we allowed to wear our Biden shirts in there, or like Black Lives Matter shirts? Would that piss you off? Would that exclude us? Would you be like the people who sell wedding cakes and be like, we're not selling to gay folks? Are you gonna spit in my food?
Well, I mean, we could try that experiment. We could. I could wear my Bubba Wallace shirt in there, and you could wear your.
Yeah, and if some of our other friends want to go too, join the party.
Yeah, just see what happens. See if they kick us out.
A group of liberals walk into a MAGA pizza place. Can we start ourselves a new joke?
Yeah. Well, hey, this thing's portable. We could go in there and record a podcast in there. I wonder how they'd like that.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Road trip.
Right?
So that night, I get down to the hotel, get checked in, and I turn on the debate shortly after it started. And surprisingly, it wasn't bad. I don't think it changed anybody's minds. Biden was Biden. Trump was Trump. Mm-hmm. Trump seemed to be more focused on the Ukraine and China and trying to get Biden on something, but Biden didn't fall for it.
And he was trying to. There was like a couple of parts where he was trying to do his bully tactics too, but it didn't work on him either.
It was better than the previous debate.
Where I gotta hand it to Trump. He did a little bit better. But it's not going to be to like win people over. People have already basically made up their mind.
Made up your mind.
And all Biden had to do was like not. He just needed to do what he's already been doing.
Yeah.
So
I can only take so much of it. So what I like to do when I'm down in Laughlin is do the river walk, and I go a certain time of night and you see all sorts of wildlife. And I was talking to somebody saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna go kidnap a raccoon tonight," and she was like. Well, hey, bring home a baby skunk instead. I'm like, skunk. I'm not gonna see a skunk. I always see a beaver that I named Justin there.
Justin Beaver.
Yeah, you got it. And then I'd always see this raccoon that would act like it was drunk. Like I watched him from my hotel room one night, and he was staggering by the pool, literally.
Maybe he was. People drop stuff all over.
Yeah. So I turn off the debate. I'm like, I'm gonna go look at wildlife, and I'm not really thinking I'm gonna see the raccoon, but no, I see the raccoon, and it's all like it was passed out drunk on the ledge. And I took pictures of it, and it looked up at me, and then just put its head back down again. I was like,
I had a margarita that some gal set her.
Well, I nicknamed the raccoon Jackson Maine after a Star is Born. Did you see the newer one where Bradley Cooper is like drunk all the time?
Gaga. Oh yeah, and he pissed himself.
Yeah, so did
the raccoon piss himself?
Not that I noticed. So yeah, the raccoon's name was Jackson, Maine. I turn around, walk back to my room, and I get right between the Edgewater and the Aquarius. I look down and I see a skunk. I'm like, what are the odds? We were just talking about raccoons and skunks earlier.
Oh yeah, they're all over.
And I did that noise that you make when you're trying to call a cat, like, and the skunk put its tail up. But I guess skunks have bad eyesight, and I was standing 10 feet above it, so it didn't know to look up. It was just like, what's that noise? And then when it finally saw me and it looked up, I was like, oh, I better back away because I don't know how far they can spray. And all of a sudden, 3 raccoons came along and distracted it. And the skunk was like, what's going on? And I was like, huh. I was like, that's kind of weird. So anyway, fast forward to the next night. I'm like, I'll do that walk again. There's no way I'm going to see what I saw last night. And I'm out in back of the Edgewater and where the ramps are to get on the boats to tour. They'll go up down the river. There's a mother raccoon and 2 babies. And I just stopped, took pictures of them. And they must be used to people because they walked right up to me. And raccoons, they make like a clicking noise, but when it's really soft, they kind of sound like they were purring.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I was like, cool. And then some other people came along, and the mother raccoon got spooked, and it climbed down the side of the ramp. But the 2 babies didn't know how to do it.
Oh.
You know, and I'm like, oh, well, now I got to make sure that the mother comes back for these 2. And then the baby raccoon started crying, which was sad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the mother's like looking at him from below going, no, down here, down here. So the other people that were watching this, I was like, maybe we should just, back off, so the mom can come up and, the babies will go away. So we did. We all walked away, and I waited 5 minutes and went back to check on them, and they were all gone. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's good to let nature take its course.
So I went back, gambled a little, got something to eat. And I was like, well, take one more walk before I go to bed. And I go back to the same area, and I saw the mother raccoon and the 2 babies hanging out in a tree. Their deadbeat dad probably was off, passed out somewhere again. And I was like, I turn around and go back, and there's this skunk again. Standing right there. But now it's closer. Now it's like on the same level as I am.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, hey, skunk. Take some more pictures of him. And then the skunk's tail goes up. And I was like, oh, I'm like way too close. And along comes 3 raccoons again. And it was the mother and the babies. They come back and they distracted the skunk again. It's just, skunk's attention was drawn off me. And I was like going, that is just bizarre.
Yeah.
But that was my adventures. I was telling my kids this story, and they thought it was hilarious. And they said, Dad, did you bump your head or something and gain some kind of superpowers that you're now the raccoon whisperer? Right?
Raccoon and skunk whisperer. Huh.
So that was my week. We just finished up.
We got funked up in here.
Got funked up. We had some baked salmon. And how did you prepare it?
With some Bootsy's Delta Funk Barbecue High-Tone White Barbecue Sauce.
From Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes, folks. This is one of our friend's sauces, so I had to go try it. It's sold down here at west of 3rd, and you can also buy it on Amazon. This stuff is like all natural ingredients. It's like you can pronounce everything that's in this sauce. No MSG, no high fructose corn syrup. Good stuff. What did you think?
So, yeah, it was delicious. How did you prepare it?
Well, I baked it because I didn't have enough propane. I was going to grill the salmon, so I ended up having to bake it in the oven.
But you marinated it in the sauce first before?
No, I cooked it for a little bit, and then I took it out, and then I brushed the sauce on it. Okay. And then put it back in and cooked it some more.
No, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's our friend Peter Grumbles, or as Snow likes to, yeah, that's how Snow
I like
pronounces
to
it.
say it in the voice of Lois Griffin.
Yeah, so follow him on Facebook,
Peter Grumbles.
and he's got a Facebook page for this Bootsy's Delta Funk barbecue sauce on Facebook too. Get some tried out; it's good stuff.
Yeah, and it's keto friendly too.
Did not know that.
Yes,
Right.
if you're doing the keto thing.
So this week, this is our 20th episode already.
Woo!
Yeah,
We got an anniversary.
yeah. Heard around around all over the United States and 13 other countries. So we're growing, and I don't think we ever really talked about what led us to do this, and because we'd been talking about this for, I don't know, a couple of years, but never really had the motivation to do it or the time. COVID kind of helped with that.
We needed therapy badly.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of that, yeah, this is good therapy doing this on a weekly basis. Get to vent, talk, and get things out. In the same way with working with the Mascot Mojave County page and being, an admin on that, it kind of really helped. It motivates you. You're motivating people, being leader, getting them out to write letters and doing this podcast and getting listeners and stuff like that. Because usually I'm kind of an introvert, and I usually don't do this kind of thing.
Right,
But
me too.
this kind of helps get us out there. So this is something I've always wanted to do. I was always into, first music, but then I started getting into like Howard Stern and stuff like that. And
Howard.
listen to Howard Stern now, I was like, man, what I should have done was had a career in radio. And there was this one time in New Hampshire, my roommate, she was seeing this guy from New York City, and she worked, and she goes, hey, can you entertain my friend, show him out and about in town until I get out for work at 10? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I meet him at kind of like one of the high-end bars in Manchester, and his work had put him up there. And so we were hanging out, and everything was on his expense account. So which was cool, We had nice, it wasn't a limo, but it was
a town car
with a driver that was taking us around as we were driving around, going from place to place. And he turned to me at one point. He goes, you're a funny guy. You should come down because I work in radio and audition at my station. I was just like, me? Come on. No. Even though that was like my dream job, but I didn't have enough confidence in myself at the time to do it, which looking back, kicking myself, because I could have worked for Howard Stern. Who knows?
You could. Yeah, you never know what you could have done.
But I never went for it. So one of the first ideas we had was we didn't intend this to be like a political-based podcast. We wanted to do different subjects, be funny. And one thing that we talked upon was doing like a Loveline type podcast. Loveline was a radio show back in the 90s, early 2000s, I believe, with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. And it was a relationships and sex show that younger people would call in and get advice from Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Do you remember listening to that?
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah. And it was funny. So that was sort of an inspiration on, doing something like that. And we might do podcasts about that, but it's kind of hard to have people call in.
Yeah. But,
you can reach out to us on our social media sites, and if you have a problem that you want us to give you advice, we'll try that. So we thought we would touch on something, just go down that line, because we don't want to do political stuff all the time. We don't want to bitch. We're trying to make this more positive. So one of the things that we thought about is, you look on social media and some people post their problems too much, like relationship problems.
Yes. Like, there's a thing about venting and everything, but it's like, me personally, I'm very selective about what I post. Because the goal is to not make yourself look pathetic. Okay, and this is just like this is kind of like tough love. Like, you don't want to, because sometimes when I read some people's posts, I'm like, dude, you almost know what you're saying. You know that you need to like get out of there, or like posting stuff that's really personal is a little tricky, And also, this is kind of what I go by too. I'm going to quote Alanis Morissette. Leave them with this. You scan the credits for your name and wonder why it's not there. Don't give that person that power over you. Don't let them do that to you. Don't give them any amount of credit. Right. They don't deserve it.
And you're also setting yourself up for if you see somebody that you might not like on Facebook, you're setting yourself up for that person to pick on you, and they have something to hold over your head.
Yeah.
I know if I'm particularly if I'm going through something, I'm kind of bummed out, I might post a song or something, but nobody really knows what I'm talking about.
Or like try to think of what I always try to do is like, yeah, sometimes they're negative, shitty situations, but you try to see like the positive in it. Like that's why a lot of I feel a whole lot better now that we got to vote. Everything, and I checked and made sure that it counted. Like now the degree of my political posts like aren't as angry. I'm still fired up though. I'm still ready for election day and everything. I mean, I will be traveling to a blue state because I need to be around my peeps during that time. And if things don't go the way that the majority of the folks in this town want them to go, I certainly don't want to be around this place. I'm going to need a little mini break.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be off. People be pissed.
And I got to get to the delicious water. I go there like at least once a year. Love the mineral water.
And where are you going again?
Desert Hot Springs, California.
And where is that?
It's across the highway from Palm Springs. Okay. But Palm Springs does not have the great mineral water. So you got to go to the Desert Hut. That's why I'll go into Palm Springs because it's nice there too. But, and I may go hiking. I may see how I feel. I might go hiking I'm going to say this mountain name wrong, but San Jacinto, I think is how you pronounce it. Very cool. I've been there before. I was thinking about going back and doing it because I'm on a hiking kick.
I've been, it goes along with trying to get yourself in a better frame of mind, mentally and physically. I've been walking, 2 miles a day at least.
Good.
Because it makes you feel better, clears your mind. I think that
does.
I think that's why I've been feeling better lately. I mean, yeah, we all get down times.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I feel better.
It releases endorphins anytime you're moving, like exercising and whatnot. So endorphins make you feel better. So yes, good job, MJ.
Yeah. So to get back to the relationship part of it. Rather than post it on the social media, you should probably talk to the person that, you're involved with. I know with me, I tend to, sometimes I used to just bottle things up and I wouldn't say anything, but that would build up resentment. So now I kind of.
Then you're a pressure cooker.
Yeah. Then I would say, I've learned to start to talk about if I'm feeling uneasy about something. And then I feel like, okay, once you get that out there, like, hey, I'm feeling like this, and then you get it out there and you tell the person how you're feeling, and then you're like, oh, okay, that feels better.
Well, plus, think about it this way. Like, only so many of your friends are going to be able to relate to you. So you could also do the thing where you message people if you need, private message people if you need to talk.
Right.
Rather than, because some people will be like, well, gosh, I feel bad for this person because that's what I do. But I'm like airing your dirty laundry is yikes.
Yeah, that would be just like talking about it here, on this. I know you and I, we'll call each other if we're feeling something, feeling bad and down and just need to talk to somebody. So
yeah, because it is important to get it out. It will make you feel better too. And I am a big believer in people need to talk and. you know, I'm always one of those people. I'm like, hey, you need to talk? I'm here, you know. I'm here to listen. I'm here to try to help you.
You know, and another note, to go in another direction, if you're constantly posting like about your ex on social media, you know, and you know what they did to you, I don't think focusing on that helps, because what you should do is you're not really moving on at that point. You're just focusing in the past, and it kind of gets you into a rut. You're stuck.
And like, could I add something to that? Like, what if there's somebody who potentially likes you, and they're your friend on there, and you're like ruining it for yourself, because then they're like, well, I don't, this person's kind of turning me off now.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're hung up on this person. You must, if you're posting about this person so much, you must really care about them. And so
you're like not over them yet, you know.
It gives the wrong message out there.
Yeah, and you want to move on, because that's going to make you feel better.
Yeah, and I've always tried in, you know, past relationships is to have it end on a somewhat good note, because I don't wish bad upon anybody that I've ever been involved with. You know, wish them the best and move on in life. And I've always had that. You know, I also think it adds closure.
Right, it does, and I like doing that too. Like, I like separating on a positive note, but I also like separating. I don't choose to want to remain friends. And it's only because I think that that's more fair to the next person that your ex meets. You know, you don't need to sit there and continue to talk to your exes. I mean, unless you have where it's like where you were married and you have children together, then yes, you know, you have to still have somewhat of a working relationship. But yeah, it's not fun being with somebody either that's constantly talking to their exes. I know this from experience. It doesn't make you feel that great either. You know what I mean?
Right.
And them constantly complaining about what went wrong, and you're like, okay, well, I thought you were like with me now, so
Right.
I mean, am I not good enough? I mean, because we should just part ways now then.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it does no good to focus and constantly be talking crap about your ex, but it also certainly wouldn't help to be like, my ex was so great.
Right. I mean, I have a thing on my wall too to remind me. It says, it's an arrow, and it says, don't look back. You're not going that way. The goal is to move forward, to move on with your life, progress. Right. That's why I like being a progressive.
Yeah. I think after every relationship I've had, for the most part, I come out on the other side a better person, because you learn not only about yourself. You learn what you did wrong too, because nobody is perfect. Like, you were like, okay, I could have handled that differently. I could have done things better, you know. But sometimes there's some relationships though, they're just broken. Like, here's another great quote. I'm full of quotes today, but it's like, even with all the mayonnaise in the entire world, you cannot make chicken salad out of chicken shit. It's just never going to work. You know, you have to just realize that you're not meant to be. Yeah. You can't force a relationship to work. It has to, you have to have two people. It's a communication. It's about communication. It's about compromise. It's about all these things. And some people are like very one-sided folks, and they want the relationship to go their way, and they don't want to do any of relationship type stuff, you know? Yeah. So yeah, those aren't going to work out, folks. I can tell you that those aren't going to work. I know I've been in relationships where the person would post on, Facebook about private stuff. And I'd be like, ooh. Hey, I don't like seeing that. Yikes. I would be like, unfriend. I'm sorry. I'd be like, we cannot be friends on Facebook, and we are going to have to talk about if we can even do this in real life. And once I saw that, I blocked the person. But then I was like, how I'd be like walking around downtown and, see, some woman that, friends with and just, I'm so sorry about what she's posting about you. I'm like, what? What? What are you talking about?
That's like high school behavior. That's not like, I mean, hey, I've seen adults that I know from school that do that kind of stuff. And I'm like, you are not in high school anymore. Stop still acting the same way. Yeah. Okay? Yeah.
That's how you grow and progress. You get out of high school, get out of high school mode, have a real relationship.
And your entire life is not everyone's business. That's the great thing about social media. You get to control what you put out there. Do you really want people seeing you like that? Because they're not going to think you're a fun person. Yeah. They're not going to,
that's why I also don't post overly political stuff unless I find it something that's funny.
See, I've toned that down, but I was posting angry political things because I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone around here tries to categorize me as. I am a fucking patriot. I love my country. I don't want to see my country go down the tubes. I know what this is about. This isn't even like the whole political thing. It's not even a thing about Republican and Democrat. This is a class war. This is about like aristocracy versus like the common folks. That's what our country is turning into. And it upsets me and it hurts me that these people are voting for people who want to mow right over them, who want to take away their stuff. That I don't know how that doesn't do that for every American. I'm sorry, but I subscribe to this needs to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, and I am not backing down from that.
Well, and businesses and certain politicians have learned that the divide and conquer rule. And right. That's what they do.
Oh, they know exactly what they're doing. That they know what they're doing. So that's why I've been stopping myself lately. But I'm, in all honesty, I was getting to the point where I was like, with these people, I was just being mean. And I was like, you know what? You're just a douchebag then. You're a fucking douchebag. Because you try to tell them and explain to them and you're like, and it's hard to get all your feelings out through social media too, because it's like, look, dude, I'm on your side. These people aren't. They're not on your side. We are in the same boat. I know I'm in the same boat as you. You don't know you're in the same boat as me. Yeah. You're willing to go after and chase this steak on a string that, let me tell you, I got news for you. You're never going to catch it. That's their game with this thing. Every time you get close, they yank it. Well, that's and you run.
That's more. That's like the jackass, who has a string on the back with the carrot on the end of the string. You're never going to catch it.
Same idea, right? It's designed that way for you. And I'm like, people, you've got to wake up. You have to realize this. There are people who are trying to buy our government. And so far, they're really succeeding. Yeah, if you feel like arguing with me on that one, I would like to point you in the direction of all the corporate taxes. All the people who paid no fucking taxes, including the president. Okay? So.
Amazon.
There you go. Yeah. Jeff Bezos. I mean, he's not even one of my favorite people, and the right hates that guy. And it's like, so why aren't you mad about that? Like, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, like here it's Prop 208 here, which would, if you earn over, was it 300,000? You would pay such a percent back and it would go towards education. Mm-hmm. And I should have had the numbers prepared, but I didn't know we were going to talk about this. But the right, and we're talking lower class conservatives, mm-hmm. are against this. Why would you care if the higher class pays more taxes for education? Education, which we need to educate people
I know. Like,
So,
I've seen some of these folks in the store all trumped out, and it's like, y'all are paying with fucking EBT cards. What are you talking about? There's no way that there's no way that you make enough to get taxed. And look, I'm not making fun of people on EBT, all right? People do need it.
everybody needs help
And it's
sometimes.
a program. Yes, I'm for social programs, so don't get it twisted, folks. But,
Socialist.
like, yeah, yeah, call me a socialist, I know the true definition of words, but it's like, I've seen y'all in the store. Like, I see you. You're not going to be affected by this, but you would benefit from this. You have children. Your children would get a better education. What is wrong with you people?
Right. And when we all, when everybody
Getting a little
succeeds,
fired up.
when everybody succeeds, we all succeed. How do we get back we went from politics to relationships, back into politics again.
And let's get off let's get back into
all right.
something fun.
All right. Well, hey, speaking of fun, you got something going on tomorrow.
I have a date.
That's not the best part.
Guess what? The best part is, it is with a liberal.
Oh,
I finally found a unicorn.
You found the other one. That must have
Found
been
a
hard.
unicorn. Oh. Well, let's hope it goes well. No, he's a super cool guy. I've been talking to him for a couple of weeks.
And yeah, there's only a few of them though.
And the date will be happening in a state that's following rules. This is the hilarious part. Like, I asked him out because I'm like...
Wait. You asked him out?
I asked him out. I finally asked a boy out. Wait. I finally asked a boy out.
Wait, how many years have you been dating? And this is the first time?
Yeah. I was like, we were texting, and then like I was all upset, so I was kind of complaining about the mask mandate being lifted. And I'm like, I need to get out of here. I'm like, do you want to go out on a date with me?
Oh.
I'm like, let's meet up in Boulder City. I'm like, because I love that place. I'm like, and they'll be following rules there. And there's like a few really cute outdoor eating spots. So I'm like, even better. And he said yes.
Oh.
So yay.
So you're going to socially distance date?
Yeah.
All right. So say if you hit it off and you could have good chemistry, you're going to stay 6 feet apart from each other?
Well, I mean, he works from home too, so I figure like he's pretty safe as well as I am. But
why don't you run to Home Depot before tomorrow and get one of those little temp guns? You know, one of those little laser things. You point at his forehead.
Right.
Be like, yes, you're safe.
And like, I'm a lady, all right? I mean, yeah, there's certain things I like, but I'm a lady, especially on the first date, okay? So I'm not going to be going there.
All right, so you can send him for the COVID test beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not going to get into like a hot and heavy kind of date.
How do you know?
It's going to be, because I like
How do you know?
I like innocent first dates where I can talk to somebody, look at them with like no huge expectations going on. I know I'm a dork. Okay, I'm a bit of a dork when it comes to that, but I like sitting down and talking to folks.
Well, of course.
Like,
I mean, that's how my dates go. I don't go into it with any expectations, but sometimes
I like the whole kind of interview process. Like, some people get like really uncomfortable with it, and I'm like, that's because you're like thinking about it too much. If you just sit there and relax, things flow, you know? Unless you're on a date with like a not fun person.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah.
I actually, though, I'm trying to think. Most of the time, because I'm kind of a reserved introvert, most of the time it's the woman that hits on me first.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
maybe that's why I don't do a lot of asking out, because I'm a bit of an introvert too. I mean,
hey, look at that.
I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. Like sometimes I'm forced to be an extrovert, but I like it to only last small amount of times. Like, I'm like, okay, I can have like a small conversation with somebody, and then I'm like, all right, it's like time for me to walk over here, you know?
Yeah, you feel all uncomfortable.
I'm like, yeah, I'll go now.
I know I get awkward in those situations where if somebody's like talking to me for too long, and I get like, oh, I got nothing to say. I got nothing. So I just sit there awkwardly quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. So there you go. Let's see. That's the relationship part of this podcast.
So yay.
Yeah. Follow. Be sure to if you could do us a favor when you listen, please download the episodes. We're on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon. Like it. Send us messages on social media. We're Reality Redemption on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can find us out there. Send us messages, and give us comments, questions, maybe even topics that we can talk about. Being at the 20th episode, I want to give a shout out. They're not here today. Aaron's not here today. I want to give a shout out to Aaron. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron.
And Stephanie, thank you for coming on.
And Stephanie.
Who else have we had on? We've had Tricia. We've had Courtney. It was a great guest. We had Jim Hinckley. Jim Hinckley was a great guest, and we're going to have him on again sometime soon.
Iris.
Great
guest.
EJ, Susie, Deidre. Shannon. So thank you all for
thank you everybody.
Thank everybody for listening, for contributing. Thank you to Brent Terhone for giving us a shout out, giving us that message one time, which is one of the highlights of the 20 episodes so far. And hopefully I can get him on again after the election. Just to see how he's feeling. I wonder what he's going to do after the election. He could either have 4 more years of great material, or...
Well, I hope he ventures into something else. I'm hoping the election goes that way, but I still want to see him around because he's a funny guy. So
yeah, he should do a tour with Trey Crowder.
I know.
That'd be great.
I love both of them.
When we can tour again. Oh yeah, I have a concert next week. First one, Sully Erna and Aaron Lewis.
Yay! And is this like a concert in your car? Or?
Yeah. It's at the Arizona State Fairgrounds in Phoenix.
That's pretty cool, though. You'd be able to like kick back in your own car. You're gonna bring snacks and stuff.
Yeah, bring snacks. I might bring some little lawn chairs to put around the front of the car.
Right.
It's because I don't really want to listen to it through the radio of the car. I want to hear it.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be loud, so you'll be able to hear it.
Because concerts is like my therapy, and this year that's been lacking.
Dude, it's going to be like, I used to love going to the drive-ins. It's going to be like drive-in concert. That's kind of cool.
You had drive-ins when you were growing up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had them down in Phoenix. Oh, my gosh. So much fun. And then, like, when me and my friends got high school age, we had to do the whole thing just to try to be cool. We thought we were being cool where you ride in the trunk. To get in. We were winning one over on them.
What we would do growing up is on Friday nights we always went to the drive-in, and you paid by the carload. So
yeah,
my friend had a pickup truck, so we would all just get a bunch of us and sit in the back of the pickup truck.
Yeah,
and get in.
I know.
This was back before the crazy laws when you can. Showing my age that you could ride in the back of a pickup truck. Which remember, these days it seems really scary.
I remember going as a kid too, and yeah, my dad had a truck, so we'd load up a cooler, and us kids would be like running around, like you could run to the snack bar all you want. Like now you can't really do that though. I mean, you can like worry about your kids doing stuff like that. Do
you remember back in the day though?
Good old days.
You used to have to listen to it through that shitty little speaker that you would put on your window. And now you have like a good audio system, so it's a lot different now. It
worked though. Like I remember we'd like bundle up with the blankets, lay under the stars, and watch the movies.
My first memory from a drive-in is 1975. My parents taking me to go see Jaws at the drive-in, which Jaws to this day is one of my favorite movies of all time. But to this day, I love sharks. I'm like fascinated by sharks.
Me too.
But I can't swim, and I think it's being traumatized from that movie. Well, that I fell off a dock when I was a little kid, and like I had to get pulled out of the water.
I've been swimming since I've been 3.
Yeah, That's my quirk. I can't swim. My aunt was 98 years old when she learned how to swim.
Oh, wow. Hey, but she had like a bucket list thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, when my uncle passed away, and this is my dad's side, because my grandfather passed away before I was born, and so my great uncle and aunt were kind of like the grandparents on that side of the family. Mm-hmm. And when he passed away in 1996, that's when she started. She was like, "Well, I've always wanted to go to Greenland," and she traveled to Greenland. And she's in the 90s at this point. She learned how to swim, and that kept her going till she was like 104 before she passed away.
Awesome, good for her.
So yeah, let's keep that bucket list. So like this podcast, that was one of the things on my bucket list to do. So we were speaking of drive-ins, and I just wanted to touch base on a couple more things.
Can we do a thing where we let's get drive-ins back? Let's make drive-ins a thing again.
Why not?
I know. Why don't some of the theaters convert to that right now?
Yeah.
Since they're like closing theaters,
Some
it's
have.
like, why don't we start doing drive-ins again?
Yeah, there've been some that have been doing that. But I'm sort of waiting to watch these movies with somebody, but there's two movies that I really want to see right now. And the ones
I've seen both of them.
Yeah.
Na boo boo.
The Trial of the Chicago 7, right?
Amazing movie. Like, really good acting, really good story. It's a good movie. Watch it. If you got Netflix, watch it.
And that took place in the 60s.
Yes. The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching.
And the other one is Kingman's best friend, Sacha Baron Cohen.
In Borat Part 2.
What's the official name of it?
It's, oh man. Borat what is the something movie? It starts with
Subsequent.
Subsequent movie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
The Borat subsequent movie.
Yes.
And
is Part 2, and it is awesome.
The only thing that I saw
funny.
The only thing that I saw that came out of that was the Rudy Giuliani part.
Ew, David. Just.
And I just hop back. God, we just fucking boomerang back to politics. If that was Joe Biden in that particular scene, knowing what I know about that scene,
or a left lawyer or a left-leaning anyone,
right?
Like you would hear about, it'd be blasted everywhere. At least where we live, they would take to social media to get that out.
Yeah. So come on, Sacha Baron Cohen. Call us. We want to get you on this podcast. We just promoted two of your movies.
He's a little busy. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Like
we're the biggest progressive voice in Kingman, Arizona.
We are Kingman people who appreciated your
a lot
show.
A lot of progressives were mad at him for doing that.
And I was like, I was kind of mad at those people because I'm like, you people have no idea what you live amongst. And let's get it straight real quick. I'm not saying that the whole town is like what was portrayed in that skit. I forget the name of the show, something about America, right?
Who is America?
Who is America? Okay. So I'm not saying that everyone in the town is like that, but folks, there is a pretty good majority of folks who talk like that, who think like that, who their houses are decorated with hateful stuff.
Oh yeah,
I know this from experience. I've seen these people.
All you have to do is read the local paper's comment section, and it's full of that
too. I mean, but it's like, so that kind of made me mad because I'm like, you guys have been walking around with blinders on, or you've kept your rose-colored glasses on all the time, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against rose-colored glasses. It's a great way to see the world. But sometimes you need to pull the rug back when things are swept under it, okay? Because if you just keep sweeping things under a rug and you don't ever pull the rug back, Guess what's under that rug? A huge pile of dirt. It doesn't
Well,
just go away.
well, that's a great point. And we started this podcast 20 episodes ago, and we were talking about George Floyd is how this all started. And everything that's going on in this country, you made a great point there, is the racism has always existed. Does it seem more prominent now? Yes, but it's always been there because now people are, for whatever reason, they feel the need that they can express the views openly. Before that, it was swept under the rug.
And we're always going to have folks like that. Thank God it's getting smaller and smaller, like it's shrinking. At least I feel, I would like to hope that it is. So. I would like to hope that it's not as bad as it once was, right? So that with the newer generations are fucking, shall I say, smarter? I mean,
to an extent.
Well, I mean, a lot of the younger kids are way more accepting. Like, they don't understand certain things, which is like a good thing, where they're like, I remember one of my friends was telling me how she was watching the movie Loving with her kids. And her kids were like, why are they doing this to these people? These people just want to be married. Why are they doing this? And she was getting frustrated because she was trying to explain to them. It used to be against the law. And she's like, I could not get them to understand this. And I go, yeah, but listen to yourself. I'm like, that's actually a beautiful thing. That your kids have no idea of why this was illegal. That's actually a beautiful thing. She goes, yeah, but I'm trying to teach them. And I go, I get that. I get where you're coming from. And you're getting frustrated with them because you're like, they just don't understand. But it's like, they think it's ridiculous that ever happened. That's a great thing.
Well, that's a great thing. And I had told you, I can't say it on the air, about some racist comments that were said to me this week, which I was just appalled by and disgusted.
Right. And at least there you go with that one. Those are old fucks saying that. So
no, well, they're not that old.
They're not?
No. Younger than me.
Well, it's also this town too. Yeah. I mean, some of it comes with the way people here are born and bred too. And it's like this in places in the South too, to be fair, and not just rail on Kingman. But I mean, people have that. I have people in my family that were raised that way. Luckily, my parents didn't do that, but some of them they used racial slurs.
I was naive enough because my kids were really, really young at the time when Obama got elected. And I thought naively that I was like, this is great. No, I liked Obama because of his policies and everything else, but I thought, wow, my kids, there's a black president, and I was just like, I thought my kids were like, they're not going to know what racism is because this is the pinnacle.
Right.
Anybody can do anything. That's why I think. Also, why I think we need a woman president.
The thing too, though, and then like all the white lash happened after we had a great president like Barack Obama. The thing too, though, that gets me is like the thing that I get most down about is the people who I know are good people and they won't fucking say anything. They're just silent, and it's like, you should be speaking out. This should bother you. I know that you're not like this, and I think some people are sick of listening to things. Yeah. And so they're just like, they ignore it.
When I heard that racist comment a couple days ago, I really wanted to stand up and say something like, no, this is not right, and I'm not going to put up with it. But I was sort of in a position where I can't do that, I felt.
Well, yeah, if you're in... Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all I can say about it.
I mean, you'd also end up getting a target on your back. So sometimes, and that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who I've heard it come out their mouth, how they're like, I wish people would just stop complaining about this stuff. And it's like, but that's disturbing that you don't wish that this stuff would stop, So it's like, yes, they're not saying outwardly awful or racist things, but it's like, your silence is deafening. I mean, like,
yeah,
there's things where you need to pick a side on,
And then after that, to turn around and go, well, no, racism isn't still a problem in this country. It happened
Right.
all these years. We'll get over it. And
I could see, like, if you're at work or something, yeah, you don't want to even get into a conversation like that because you could get, I mean, a person's job could be in jeopardy for doing that. So I'm not saying that. I'm speaking more about the stuff on social media or the stuff that I've heard people you hear people talking.
right, like on some of the sites, some of the Facebook sites, like the Miner or the Bee. Why would a moderator come in when some of the racist comments come out? Hey, that's not going to be tolerated on this. But then, of course,
they don't care.
Of course, then you go.
It's not an attack on them, so they don't care. People have become. It's almost like, sometimes I wonder if we can ever beat tribalism, because sometimes it's that with certain people. Sometimes it's that, and it's like, and they'll be like these people who are like, they'll sit there and try to say all lives matter on one hand, but then it's like. But then they get so offended by something else, and you're like, well, wait a second, I thought you were saying how we should be one, we should be the human race, which we should be. We should realize that we're all human beings, and we're all in this together. But we need to call out these things and move past it in order to get to that point, folks. It should upset everyone that no matter what their color, they're being murdered by the police and on camera. That should have upset everyone. And it did upset a lot of more people. And it did wake a lot of more people up. But that should be upsetting to everyone. It was disgusting, that officer exerting his power and control over someone. That should bother folks right there. That should bother people.
Yeah, so I guess 20 episodes in, we just brought it full circle back where we started.
I know, sorry. Then the passion just rises up in me, and I have to do something about it.
Behind the scenes, what you listeners don't know is we were about to wrap this up 10 minutes ago, and then we got on the subject.
Right.
But it's important stuff to talk about, and
behind the scenes, what you don't know, well, we touched on it a little. This was one of my more favorite episodes. I'm going to have to do it again on how we got to eat before we did the show.
Right.
It was awesome.
All right. How do you say his name again?
Peter
Grumbos.
And his Bootsy's Delta Funk Barbecue.
I know, and I need to go over to West of 3rd and pick up some of his hot barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Sweet and hot.
I know. I'd like to try more of them. I'm going to have to stop in again.
I'm going to try putting some of the sweet hot and cook some chicken wings in my air fryer.
Oh, yeah. That sounds good. Maybe you can bring those next time.
Yeah, hey.
What?
Hey, give Peter a regular. Hey, Peter, if you're listening, hey, we're just trying to get some sponsorship money here. Somebody's got to pay for all this.
Peter will just sample new sauces every time.
Hey, we should start invoices, okay? We've given West a 3rd plugs today. We've given
Right.
Peter's barbecue sauce plugs today. Bootsy's Delta Funk.
No, we love them all.
We're
all helped. Hey, you guys
kidding.
have all, in one form or another, helped in our path of therapy. So we do not mind ever giving you a shout out.
So these are free plugs. Also, EJ's book and Susie and Deidre all contributed. Love Meets Life. Check that book out. Available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Check out Jim Hinckley's America. Check out his book, Murder and Mayhem on the Main Streets of America, Route 66. Fantastic book. Can't wait to have Jim on again. And so thank you, everybody, for listening. We love you, and keep it up.
Love you.
We're going to have more positive podcasts, and we're going to have more political ones. Next week is the last one for the election.
Basically, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want.
We do what the fuck we want. I do what I want, as Carl Ruiz says. So
whatever.
Miss you, Carl Ruizing, and
I do what I want.
Yeah. All right. So we'll talk to you next week, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.